Hey everyone, Shadow Wraith back again, this time with a absolutely insane Arc Hunter build that will make you feel kind of like One Punch Man. With the buffs that we're stacking, we get over 3000% melee damage. And to show you that this is not a clickbait title, I'll jump into some Lost Sector footage where you can see a couple different buffs running on the side. And then with all of those together and a 1-2 punch shotgun and the grenade debuff, we're hitting the Lost Sector boss for 128,000 damage off of a single punch. So I'll get more into like how we make those numbers work. But as a use case, you can use this in Override, these giant yellow bar bosses that usually take 2 or 3 people to kill fast. You can just kill in 1 or 2 punches. If a lot of blueberries are running around with primary weapons, you can take out these bosses all on your own. It's really not that difficult. The build also gives you invisibility and healing on melee kills, which is insane. And in this next clip, you'll be able to see you can stun lock bosses because you're doing so much damage with your melee. They never get their stomp out if you're doing it correctly. And that might depend on the boss, but like this one in particular, you can see never actually gets to attack because I keep stun locking him. This next set of footage is from a Master Lost Sector, and I'm running it at 19 levels under light. And I'm still able to 2-punch these champions. So you can see there, I get the invisibility so the ogre's not shooting me. Then I use a grenade launcher with blinding to stun and get the debuff. And then 2 punches and the ogre's dead. Same thing for barriers. I don't even need anti-barrier because I can 1-2 punch shotgun into 2 punches and he dies. So this build is definitely usable in Legend and Master level content. I don't know that I would take it into a GM because of the limited revives. It's a very high risk, high reward strat. In a GM, if you die, you're using up your team's revives, and that's a much bigger issue. Versus in Legend or Master, it's not that big a deal. So here you can see again 19 light levels under in a Master Lost Sector and finishing it in just over 3 minutes. So it's good. All right, jumping into the build. Top tree Arc Strider Way of the Warrior with Combination Blow. Kill an enemy with this melee ability to trigger health regen and increase damage. And then melee kills recharge your dodge ability, and dodging increases melee range. We don't really care about lethal current since we're not using a ton of supers. We mainly care about combat flow and combination blow and how those pair with Gambler's Dodge, where you can dodge to get your melee ability back. So that's an infinite loop: dodge to get melee, melee kill to get dodge. Use whatever grenade and jump you want, that's personal preference. And then the exotic we're using is Assassin's Cowl, where powered melee kills will grant invisibility and restore a portion of health and shields, and then finishers and final blows against more powerful targets increase that invisibility. That's why we're using Assassin's Cowl instead of Liar's Handshake. Liar's Handshake may get you a little bit more damage, but you'll likely die a lot more because you're not going invis after kills. This will allow you to close the gap to your next target. Then we're going to be using Huckleberry Exotic SMG, increases rate of fire and recoil when holding down the trigger, and with the catalyst, it refills the mag on a kill, which is huge, and it has Rampage. This absolutely shreds in low-level content, all the way up to probably something like Legend. For Master level, you can swap this out for maybe like a blinding grenade launcher. Since you're going to be punching things, you could run double special, but up to you. I'll talk through some of the weapon alternatives later. What you really do need for this build is a 1-2 punch shotgun. In this case, I'm using the Deicide, however you pronounce that. It's from this season. You can grind it out in Override or by focusing Umbral engrams. Great shotgun. The only perk you really need is 1-2 punch. I'm showing the other perks just so you can see them. And then I'm running Freehand Grip for extra accuracy in case I don't have time to ADS before punching something. But 1-2 punch is essential because it gives you like a 4.5x multiplier on your melee. And then heavy, we're running Outrageous Fortune, a solar grenade launcher. Perks don't particularly matter here. We're using spike grenades for the increased damage, field prep for the reserves, and ambitious for a bigger mag. But I wanted a solar grenade launcher so I could handle all 3 shield types in case I'm running in match game. And it's a grenade launcher which pairs very well with Breach and Clear, where hitting a boss, champion, or breaking a shield reloads your stowed weapons, but it also gives you a 30% damage debuff against your target. This is huge. It's like a free tether by just hitting a boss with a grenade launcher. Highly recommend using that mod. Alternatives in the kinetic slot, you could use something like Rat King for more invis. You could use Dead Man's Tail for higher level content with anti-barrier scout rifle. You could use a anti-barrier auto rifle if you want Warmind cells, or Overload hand cannon. Or in higher level content, if I'm running double specials, I'm using Ignition Code with blinding grenades. Those are all great options. Feel free to play around. Use whatever works best for you. In the energy slot, you could also run blinding grenades here, or a different 1-2 punch shotgun, or if you want Warmind cells and overload SMG, Ikelos is a great option. For heavy, if you have a grenade launcher in one of your other slots, you could run a rocket launcher or machine gun here. If you want to run an exotic grenade launcher, you could use Colony or probably top tier Anarchy, but I know not everyone has Anarchy, so I'm trying not to like make builds around that. And then you could also use Xenophage or Deathbringer now. Artifact mods, you want Breach and Clear. This is huge. It's like a free tether on any boss you see by hitting it with a grenade. And then Unstoppable Grenade Launcher for the champion coverage. It's great. And then Overload, SMG, or Anti-Barrier Scout Rifle, or Anti-Barrier Auto Rifle, Overload Hand Cannon. Whichever primary you're using, try to use that mod. Jumping over to armor mods, we're going to be running Overload Wellmaker. Defeating an arc combatant with a finisher spawns 2 arc elemental wells. And then we have Grenade Ammo Finder and Shotgun Ammo Finder. And then we're pairing that with Well of Ions. Picking up an Arc Elemental Well causes your next melee to deal increased damage. That's a 30% increase. It's great. And then we have the Unstoppable Grenade Launcher and Overload SMG. And then we're also going to be running Elemental Charge. Become charged with light by picking up an Elemental Well. And then we have Concussive Dampener and Sniper Damage Resist. You could use melee damage resist here depending on what you're fighting. A lot of times you're getting shot when punching things, so I like the Sniper. And then I have Recovery mod. And then we have Protective Light. Highly recommend running this. It will keep you alive in a lot of scenarios where you would have died while punching something. Hugely, hugely effective. Highly, highly recommend. And then we have also Shotgun Scavenger and Grenade Scavenger and another Recovery mod. And then lastly, on the Bond, like I've talked about, Breach and Clear. This is an amazing mod. Try it out. And then we have a Minor Resilience mod. If you're running a Warmind cell primary, you could switch that for Global Reach and get Warmind cells as well. It'd be great. All right, I know I flew through that stuff. I will explain the buffs in a little bit more detail in this next footage, which is me running through a Legendary Lost Sector. So this is at, I think, 11 over light level, and you can see I'm just trashing stuff. So we have Overload SMG. We've got Spike Grenades on a Solar Grenade Launcher that will decimate champions. And then here's where the buffs start to stack. We get Combination Blow times 1, that's 60% increase. Combination Blow times 2, 60% increase. Combo Blow 3, 60% increase. 1-2 punch shotgun, 4.5x increase. 2 punches that champion, no problem. And you'll see the invisibility of Assassin's Cowl coming in clutch here because it lets me close the gap to my next target without getting blasted by all of the ads in the room. And then once I get that kill, I can just walk out of the room with no problem. One other note, Combination Blow will last for 20 seconds. So as long as you're getting a kill once every 20 seconds, it'll keep refreshing that timer and you'll keep your increased melee damage. And then when you're using a 1-2 punch shotgun, you actually have time for 2 punches before the 1-2 punch perk goes away. So that's why you'll see me 2 punching a lot of champions. In most content, the ×3 combination blow plus 1-2 punch is enough to decimate anything the game can throw at you. But if you're going into something like a Master Nightfall or you're under level, you can also finish an enemy to get your Elemental Well, which will get you an additional 30% damage buff. And these stack multiplicatively, so you can see it just absolutely trashes stuff. And then if you want to go one higher, you can use your grenade launcher to debuff the boss and then hit them with your melee. And all of those stacking result in an over 3,000% melee damage buff. And you can check the description. I'll put the numbers there that show how the damage calculates. So hopefully you enjoy using this build. It's one of my favorite hunter builds. I've used variations of this in prior seasons, but this season's new Elemental Well mods with melee damage combined with the grenade launcher debuff mods are absolutely insane and take this to the next level. So if you're trying to farm for the new Hunter exotic, which is amazing, and I'll probably be creating a build video for that later this season, this build will help you get through those Legend and Master Lost sectors pretty quickly. You can see here it's a Legend Lost sector and it took just over 2 minutes to finish. Feel free to drop any comments or questions in the comment section below. Hopefully you enjoyed. Would really appreciate the like and the subscribe if you did. Thanks for watching and catch y'all next time.